The aim is to save the globe and humanity from extinction. Climate negotiations have started some 27 years ago. This means that negotiators are close to retirement. The Gambian delegation is grooming 3 young negotiators to step into the shoes of the veteran negotiators. But the challenge is, are they ready for the task that lies ahead? Bu Pate Jallow is one of the most seasoned climate experts in the Gambia, with over 50 years of experience in the profession. Bubu Jallow has been an accredited climate negotiator for the past 24 years and an IPCC author working on the most complex task, addressing the scientific changes the climate is going through. As he grooms young climate negotiators to step in his shoes, Bubu tells us about the task that lies ahead.
Well, these negotiators, they have a very heavy task ahead of them, a very difficult task ahead of them. Because you are going to sit with people who are really educated on the issue. They have spent a long time on the issue. Now you are just beginning in. You have to learn. You have to be dedicated and learn. And then you can learn from people who were there before. Somebody like me, somebody like other people like Fatou Gueye. We have already been negotiating for a long time. So you have to come walk with us side by side. And then we will always be telling you, this is this. Whatever terminology you hear, you may not have heard of it in the classroom, but you will hear it here. So we will explain whatever terminology, we will tell you. When somebody speaks, will tell you this person is saying this, but at the back of his or her mind, this is what it means.
Omar Malmo Sambu is one of the youngest lecturers at the University of the Gambia and also being trained to become a climate negotiator. He believes that the transition is timely as negotiations are intergenerational.
The trends might completely not be the same. In my view, I think, of course, there have been a lot of talk, but in the absence of talks, what happened? Then, of course, the world would be like, an animal kingdom. So in as much as, the responses and, of course, the desired goals are coming in a very slow pace, these conversations or these discussions are very relevant to the planet. So, yes, I, of course, would say they're very slow, and, of course, the processes have been very, very much frustrating. But what is essential is that the conversations are ongoing and actions at one level or another are being taken. So for me, it's about, in as much as the pace is slow, but there is that will and desire to bring about the meaningful change when it comes to climate change.
Marie Claire is the co-founder of the Youth Negotiators Academy. They train young people for the multilateral negotiations in order to bridge the generational gap and give young people a voice.
All the young negotiators we have been training over the last 6 months are getting trained in different areas. So one is really understanding the UNFCCC, the committees, the kind of the groups, because the structure itself is already pretty confusing. So when they're coming here, they at least have an understanding how the structure works in theory. We also give them a lot of training and insight into the negotiation items. So where are we standing with adaptation? Why is technology important? What is it about ACE or finance? So they have an understanding of the negotiation items as well. But then also really important kind of building the soft skills and the leadership skills. How do you make an intervention? How do you gain confidence? Well, how do you deal with rejection? How do you deal with imposter syndrome? So for us it was very important that we are training the young people holistically, meaning that when they're coming here, they're not only negotiators, but they're also like leaders, but they're also good listeners. They're really authentic in their own self and they feel confident to be in this space.
Young Cadet Wild Conservation Officer Mariama Kamara is navigating through the tough terminologies and technicalities on loss and damage, also called climate reparations.
To the Gambia, we are so passionate about loss and damage, reason being the recent climate issues that we've been facing. Although it's been going on for a long time, but recently we have been faced with an adverse effect of rainfall. And at the same time, we're having so many damages with regards to homes being broken and also to our agricultural sector who are facing salt intrusion due to this sea level rise. And agriculture is one of the sectors who brings in high revenue to the country.
For Senior Climate Change Officer Sambu Kinte, representing the African group has been an overwhelming experience as they focus on action for climate empowerment, focusing on youth education on climate change.
Process of negotiation, what I have learned so far is that they try to find, loopholes, to actually escape, these financial commitments. So as a young negotiator, what I have learned is that you need to be very much careful with the terminologies, I mean, that are used in climate negotiation, because there are, I mean, decisions, certain decisions or texts that are used in the, I mean, negotiation documents, that if you don't actually understand their meanings, it can, I mean, actually fool you into accepting something that is not in the interest of, I mean, vulnerable communities or countries.
Climate negotiations at the COP27 are one of the most complex tasks at the conference, involving long hours of deliberations. The young negotiators may have the energy to face the challenge. However, the wisdom and dedication is what takes you through. Reporting for GRTS News in Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt, I'm by Ibrahim Cham.